Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, everybody, episode 360 of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's making words into spells with me tonight?
Big dork chops. At least that was in my fan translation. It's Kyle from the RPG show. How's it going?
There were a few questionable text in here from my fan translation too, where I'm like, oh well.
Yeah, definitely Sid and Dune with dork chops. That was a 90s pull right there. I love that one.
Is Big Trouble in Little China reference?
No, Sid and Dune from the game. Just
Oh,
dork chops. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, but
I don't know. It made me think of. I gave the Pork Chop Express Big Trouble in Little China. That's a deep cut. All right, so we are here to talk about Treasure of the Rudras, developed by Square, published by Square, came out in 1996 for the Super Nintendo, and never came to America.
Slightly disappointing. Pretty good game overall.
This game should have 100% have at some point been translated and brought to America.
Yeah, I think it's got like an interesting little backstory, and it's funny. On the show I do, we did an episode on Mystic Quest the other day, and a lot of people who made Mystic Quest worked on this game. So I wonder if they just got in the studio. It's like, crap, we completely shat the bed on that one. Maybe we're not going to bring anything else back to the U.S., but...
Yeah, I love Mystic Quest, but yeah, I know.
Me too, yeah.
It's not a favorite game of people. Like, when I reviewed it on my show, the other two guys with me were kind of bitching about it the majority of the time, from what I remember, and I was like, this game is good, stop it.
Yeah, same on ours. That game walked so a lot of games could run. Saving it at any time, damage sprites, like all that stuff, pretty cool for the time.
I love the damage sprites. I really do. I love Mystic Quest. I wish people wouldn't talk bad about it, but what am I? Not what we're here for.
No,
but that's what's on my mind now. So I always start these off with our memories. So I had played this game, I think, early 2000s. I don't remember if this was on qualityroms.com, which doesn't exist anymore. But somehow I had found this game, and we had the ROM of it, and me and my friend were excited, and we were trying to play it, and neither of us ever finished it. I never even got through Sion's quest. I got to the end at some point, because I remember that final boss. So I've seen him before, but never beat it. And I have started this game 3 or 4 times throughout my life, and I always picked Sion or Serlin, and never finished either of them. I always got stuck at some point and just moved on. And this game has haunted me with that for over 20 years. I even had I remember when I bought a random computer at one point and hooked it up to my TV. This would have been like, let's say 2010, 2011. I remember being all excited. I'm like, hey, I got it hooked up to my TV. I'm going to replay. I bought the computer just for ROM. Didn't pay much. And I had Rudras on there. I started Rudras. I'm like, I'll get to this again later. Never happened. So I have a long torrid history with this game. Torrid, I think is the right word there. And that's why it's on the show. And I'm just happy that somebody else was willing to talk about it with me. Mm-hmm. And Kyle, what is your history?
Yeah, so for me, actually, I didn't have a history with this one until you invited me on for it, but I kind of see myself as the resident RPG guy that stops by every so often. I had some free space, so thought I'd give it a try. A lot of my ROMing back in the day was done more around PlayStation than the Super Nintendo because I owned one. Okay. So this just never really crossed my board at any point. I'd heard of it in the background a couple of times because I knew that the Mystic Quest guys had done some work on it. But other than that, just thought, hey, it looked like a good time. Once I saw the gameplay aspect of spelling your own spells, that just seemed fun. So thought I'd give it a try.
That is one of the things that makes this game so special. And also, for those that don't know this, besides this being Super Nintendo RPG, this is, I think, one of the 4 Squaresoft games we didn't get. Live that we have now, Bahamut Lagoon, Treasure Rudras, and Treasure Hunter G, I think, are the 4 that I'm aware of.
Sounds about right. Live a Live, also fantastic game.
Oh, fucking awesome. I did it on the show before the remake got announced, and that episode didn't do much for me, which is not unexpected. I just wanted to do it, but I fucking love that game. I still need to buy the remake and play the remake and cover the remake, but
that's good.
Fucking love that game.
Totally suggest it.
So this game is broken up into 3 scenarios. Technically there's a 4th, but that's more of like everybody comes together, which I never knew that. I never knew that Dune scenario was essentially just the final stretch of the game. That was cool.
Totally agree on that one. I really like when games do that, especially in like the older era. And Not that this is super old. I mean, this is probably one of the last games on the Super Nintendo, but you
96.
didn't see that a lot out there.
No, you didn't. Oh, no, there's another Squaresoft game. It's Seeking Death that never came here either. And that's another one that I need to play someday.
Fair.
But I forgot about it. I mean, technically it did come here later on as Legends of Mana, but
yeah, right.
I'm less interested. It wasn't the one that haunted me like this one haunted me for years. So.
No, I respect
There's a certain
these
thing.
kind of games. You have to come back and always find those ones. I've knocked a few of those off of my list recently, but yeah, it's always nice to find those ones that you always wanted to beat as a kid and come back and get it.
I'm trying to go back and finish games that, I couldn't do as a kid and now use save states when needed and beat the game. Don't care. I just want to get through the game and experience. I had save states, but I didn't actually. The only time I really used save states in this game was before a battle. Be like, oh, well, this went terribly wrong. Let's redo this fight without having to walk over and reload. There were a few times. There was an enemy. I had to fight him 4 different times before I got off my spell before he just decided not to do his instant kill AoE before I could cast my protection spell. So that was nice.
Yeah, I had a few of those as well in here. The save states helped quite a bit, honestly. Would suggest that if you're playing any of these older ones.
Especially, this is a fucking hard RPG. Like, when you tell me this was made by the Mystic Quest guys, they went, hey, since we made such an easy game, let's make a balls hard game now, guys.
That is true. I'm glad eventually, I think you got on the system too, just so anyone who was playing down the road. The status effect system, that's the way to beat this game. Flat damage, it looks pretty, and spelling the spells out to get the high level stuff also feels really good, but stat boosting, attack damage, and defense negating enemies is the way to win this one.
You don't have a choice. Like, I play a lot of RPGs, and I never do that. This game, it's literally not a choice.
Yeah.
It
was
have
really weird
to play.
having to do it that way. You don't find a whole lot of games where it's the only way to do it. It's just like a choice of them, one of many. But this was, some of those last bosses took a while.
So this game is broken up into 3 scenarios: Sion, Serlant, and Riza. They each have 3 different purposes that they're going for. Sion is like your knight guy, Serlant a mage, Riza. I mean, for me, she became a mage, but I don't know what her real
priestess.
I mean, you kind of do things a little bit differently, however you want. And you can start any of the 3 quests in all 3, whatever order you want. They all play through like a 15-day type quest, so you can play a day or 2, save it, do a different person's campaign, however you want to. I just did 1-1-1, or I just did Sion, Serlant, Riza, just in the order that they're in, and did the whole campaigns.
Same for me. I did Sion, Serlant, Riza as well.
Sion's is the hardest, though.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Sion's was definitely the most difficult. Serlant's was a lot of back and forth, which dragged it along.
I had the hardest time with Sion's, like, for challenge-wise, and I had the hardest time with Riza for just figuring out what the fuck to do and missing. Like, I missed talking to a statue at one point, and then I had to go all the way back and find it. I mean, I had a guide, because this is, old RPG stuff where you didn't talk to NPC? That's nice. You better go back, because nothing's going to happen. You can go to the next town, you can go to your goal, but you didn't talk to someone, so nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, I did notice the flags in this one for things like talking to people was a little more jarring than some of the older games, and I missed 1 or 2 as well. But once again, thank God for save states. That was
thank God
really
for fucking guides are hard. There's only 2 good guides for this game, and 1 guide is missing things.
Yeah, that is also true.
So I had to use 2 different ones, because I found some guy's website, which I'm surprised he's still paying for, called like Kurt's Treasure Rudras walkthrough. And I'm like, okay, I mean, it was useful. I used it. Thank you, Kurt, whoever you are. But why are you paying for this?
Right.
It's a whole website for like Treasure Rudras, I think. And I was just like, okay.
Yeah, I used the Game FAQs one. It wasn't too bad.
He copied and pasted one of the FAQs. But other than that, it's a whole web series of the monsters, and it's just weird to me that it exists.
Oh yeah, that's the whole thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. He loved this game enough to like make a whole thing for it.
Yeah.
I love this game too. Like I'm not making a website for it, but hey, props. You helped me beat this game, random guy on the internet. So thank you.
Kurt Rionis. It's a French website and hasn't been updated in 21 years. So thank you, buddy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny. I knew it hadn't been updated for a bit, but I didn't realize it was 21 years ago that the guy made that website, and that's the end of that.
Yeah.
That was pretty good though. Like that's where I had that website open the entire time I played through this game for all the stuff, and he had pretty good strategies of how to beat the boss. And he just copied an FAQ because I found the FAQ that he copied, which was also missing things. And then luckily there was one other FAQ that would fill in some of the holes sometimes.
Got it.
I also had to watch a YouTube video once or twice to be like, what the fuck am I missing?
I also did that in this one. I usually don't have to find like a full playthrough to specifically find what to do. That was a new one for me.
It was like one little flag or something. It was like, oh, I didn't talk to this guy in this town when I was here or something. It was always simple little things like that. And
yeah, I had one for Serlant in the Underworld where I missed something. I was like, crap, which of the 5 teleporters do I go through now?
Yeah, because there's one part you have to teleport a bunch of Serlant. You have to like teleport to one place, walk into a cave, and then you meet Riza randomly. And if you didn't already play as Riza's chapter, you wouldn't even have expected that to happen. And God, there was some the Underworld I got stuck in. I got stuck in one with Riza where you go there and you talk to her mother as a ghost, and then you have to talk to the statue. I forgot to talk to the statue. I left, did everything else, and I was missing the flag.
Yeah.
I mean, I do play old RPGs, but like, man, I'm not used to missing this many little flags.
No, me either. Especially for this late in the cycle of Super Nintendo games. Like, I feel they really got it on track by now. I mean, 4's got some weird ones here and there. Even like, I don't know, Chrono Trigger does a pretty good job. Secret of Mana has some weird ones with the cannons and all that kind of stuff. But this was a bit later than those games. Like, I kind of thought it'd be a little more polished. And
I don't think it's done by accident.
No, that's fair too.
It's on purpose because you can always go back. Like I never soft locked, thank God. But like they do shit like that. I mean, and it's on purpose. They want you to play this game in old style, and you don't have a choice.
I could see it that way. I'm glad you didn't run to the soft lock. Apparently, that does happen pretty.
Oh, there's a soft lock for people?
Yeah, if you when you're trying to get to Dune, the final chapter, if you don't like talk to somebody in the right manner, when you switch over, you can just get stuck at the end of day 15 for all 3 characters.
Oh, that's shitty.
Yeah.
I would have been upset.
Yes. A lot of the reviews you'll find online, people just stop there because they're like, it happened and I wasted 27, 42 hours, whatever it takes you to get through it. And then you just don't even the last thing. But fortunately, if you do, I believe you can go on to like game FAQs and find save states that are close enough to the end. So just solve it that way now.
Okay.
So that does happen to you.
Oh, that would suck. I'm thankfully that none of that happened to me. I got worried a couple times, but I was always able to go back and talk to NPCs and do things, and I had no issues. I did not realize there was a soft lock near the end with Dune. That would upset me. Dune's a thief that you meet throughout the game with a character, his partner named Sid, kind of humorous, and he's the final chapter of this game. Essentially, after you beat the other 3, you play as him, which is just a let's go beat the game with all the main characters. That's really all it is, but I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this game, I also like. This game is fucking beautiful for Super Nintendo because it reminded me of FF6 sprites.
Yeah, that is one of the nice things about it being towards the later part of the system's life cycle is that this arguably has like the best graphics for JRPGs on the Super Nintendo. And it's really cool too because they have so many different spells. Like even some of the spells, if you just spell random words, they'll just shoot the word across the screen. It looks really cool. Like they did a fantastic job with all of that.
Oh, that is cool. I only did the spells that the guide either told me to, or, well, one of the 2 guides told me I had different guides. I found some random thing on FAQ that had all, like, really good mantras. And that's how I got through this game, because I had all the debuffs, just buffs from a character, spells, like, I had everything I needed.
Yeah, I eventually went to that, though. I will say one of the worst parts of this game is it's not really easy to jump between the characters after you beat their 15 days. So write down your spells, because I, like, would go to the next person, like, from Sion to Serlant, and then it's just like, crap, I forgot what all my spells were. Now I have to re-type out 25 of them in this book. Using an old school Super Nintendo typing system. Just 30 minutes of wasted time every time.
I had an FAQ open. I remember I was at my friend's house and I was playing this, and I brought my laptop with me for one reason, because my wife and her friend were drinking, I was not. So, and she's like, "What do you have your laptop?" I'm like, "I don't want to explain this." Because I didn't want to read it from my phone, so I had the mantra guide open up so I could pull it up and type in all my mantras for the next character. Because I beat Sion that night, and I was so excited. I was like, I'm starting Serlans right away, and we're gonna do the fun part. typing all the spells. Yeah, she was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "No, you don't. Let's not. You don't want to know." I'm like, "Drunk wife does not want to hear me explain Treasures of Rudras."
Yeah, I hear you on that one.
I also texted my friend when I beat this game because the guy who I originally had found this on ROMs back with, I sent him pictures like, "I did it." I'm like, 20 years later, I did. And we talk off and on, but it was just funny because I was like, I normally don't send him screenshots of games I beat, but I was so proud of myself to finally conquer this. I mean, this game also has a really good story. Like, it's all about the end of the world is coming. All three of the main characters end up getting a stone implanted in them one way or the other. One gets it in the eye. Forgot where, I think Serlin's is his forehead. I can't remember.
Yeah, he gets killed by his.
Oh, he gets killed twice.
Yeah. You play him undead.
And then his body gets taken by somebody else, and you have to go track him down to get your body back. And then, but also, if you play Riza's quest, you can find the and kill him, and then he runs away, which I did. It's not a mandatory boss fight. I just said, "Oh, look, there's Serlin." I'm like, "Wait, that's not Serlin." Like,
oh yeah, you got to go do that one. Absolutely necessary.
Oh, it is.
It was no. I mean, just you should. You don't have to. But
okay, because the guy didn't tell me to.
Yeah. No.
But that doesn't mean it wasn't mandatory.
Yeah, it's not actually necessary in the game, but if you're playing this game the right way, you're going to go and take care of that. Yeah, it was a good story. I kind of like the whole, you don't see a lot of the like worldly reincarnation thing, especially with the different races, because this one is like every 4,000 years they give a new race a chance at ruling the world, and then you jump in the last 15 days of the humans trying to stop the cycle. So it was like merfolk, reptiles, I think Danan, giant, or it was what they call the reptiles. You have giants as well. And then now on turn 4, it's the humans' turn. So you're trying to like get to that last point where you can say, hey, we finally succeeded. We can all make this work. And that's what you get to if you get to that last Dune chapter. That 4th chapter is trying to, like finally bring it all together. So I really like when games did that, when they gave you kind of like 2 or 3 different ending styles, especially in 1996. You didn't find that a lot on the Super Nintendo, like usually because of space limitations.
Yeah.
But really cool that they were able to do that. And for having so many different threads, I mean, I know you had Live a Live earlier, and that tied everything together in a very similar fashion, but it was hard to have that many storylines all meld into one as well as they did here.
And somehow they make it work. And then they make it also connect, because as you're running through each of their campaigns, you'll run into the other. There was one time where I was like, where the fuck am I supposed to go? Because I forgot I had to go talk to an elder as Riza, so then she could meet somebody else. Because the other characters would show up from a different party, and I was missing that. So I couldn't get the link to go. Like, there's little things, and I was like, damn, this game is just cool.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job, and yeah, the graphics are good. The music's really good too. Same team from Mystic Quest, and honestly, going through that, like, really enjoy the music there, and you can kind of tell it pulled through. The OST has like 58 songs. It's a big game.
The music was good in here. I listened to a majority of it. I mean, there were times where I played without sound because it's me, but for the most part, I did enjoy the music. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean a whole lot to me for this game, even though this is something I played as a child. It doesn't stick with me that same way, but I enjoyed it. Also, the day and night cycle of this game, like the show as you're progressing, like you go to certain areas and, you essentially hit the next flag, and then I'm like, oh, now it's night here, now it's day 3. Like, all that was very cool.
Yeah, they just did a lot of stuff in here that you can tell games took, and they built off it and made it better and better. And it's, I don't know, for such a like weirdly unknown game with such a small team, because the Legends team, that was like a Game Boy game, and then they just like come out with this. Like, fantastic work. They really turned it around after Mystic Quest.
I was just everything about this game, like the way like the chests are for a simple concept, but like I really liked it, and how the areas change, because you go to one area, sometimes there's one character, then you'll show up later on in the game with a different character, and it'll be a different dungeon too a little bit, because you do things that affect the game throughout the characters do throughout the 16 days. Like, I thought that was really impressive too.
Yeah, I agree. It's nice to see those kind of, the ability to do those things within the coding back then. Like, you kind of saw it here and there in certain games where you would push a boulder and you'd see the boulder moved later on, but you didn't really see that between different cycles of characters. So that was pretty well done, honestly, for the time for them.
This game is just, and you all are in the same world, but you go to a lot of different dungeons between the 3 characters. Like, it was impressive how they worked it all in, because there was one called Seal Gate, which is near the second town in Sion's Quest, like really early in there, and you can't go there. And I was like, okay, and I just kind of forgot about it, but then in Riz's Quest, you have to go there, and they all fight you. It's weird. But, like, it was just cool that they worked that in. I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
And this game will teach you spells and treasure chests. Like, you open some treasure chest, and it'll say, oh, this will say, like, speed up. And then it will give you a spell, but with a question mark. You got to figure out the one letter it's missing.
Yeah, really, I think it would have been really interesting to play this game when it came out, before you had, just easy access internet and all that kind of stuff. Like, this feels like a game almost like a Zelda, where you would have to draw the map and write down all these spell combos and different kind of things and do a lot of testing. And fortunately for you and I think with the amount of games we play, we didn't have to do that. But I bet that would have get you a lot more playtime than you would think out of a 1996 game.
Oh, it did. Because when we first found this game, there wasn't lists of spells. We just had to start putting in words and figuring things out. There was, because I don't think either we weren't smart enough to realize, or maybe there weren't guides. And we did find this pretty early. Emulation and translation patches.
Yeah, and it's not like you really get a library or like a notebook or anything in the game that keeps track of the stuff you've learned. So
no, you do not. I mean, you can talk in every town in the bars. If you talk to people in the bar, like, oh, hey, I'll get you a drink, and it'll actually be like spells and stuff. Is how you also can learn some stuff that way. I never bothered because I'm like, I have my spells. I don't need more spells.
Yeah.
But the fact that I had to debuff and buff my characters as much as I did, like, that is not ways that I play RPGs. And, like, every boss fight in this game, it was, all right, let's go through our debuffs and buffs. And then they do, of course, they fall off after a while. So I'm like, well, that did a lot of damage to me on that hit. Let's fix that.
Yeah, it was a really weird system because it's parties of 4 normally, and you get to 4 pretty consistently. I'd say maybe you run around with 2 or 3 characters for a third of anybody's event. But once you get there and you're hitting the bosses, at least 2 of your people are going to be healing or status effects on every turn. It's like a half and half system, and you don't find the difficulty level with that in a lot of old games. Like, maybe it was different for you, but I think I had somebody healing almost every round. I had somebody buffing almost every round, and then hopefully I had enough damage between my 2 remaining people, or like switch them even between a heal every so often just to regain mana. But there was a lot more process to this game than a lot of the games you saw around this time. Even like Final Fantasy VI, I wouldn't say comes close to the amount of difficulty that this had for me.
Oh, 6 is easy compared to this.
Yeah.
But again, I'm speaking out of my ass. I played 6 so much that if you asked me to, I could recite you the entire game of 6 from memory right now and tell you every dungeon everywhere you go. So it's hard for me to say if 6 is easy or hard because it's just ingrained in my head.
No, it is. We did it 7 or so months ago. I think I played it, and it's really just not that hard. You can grind it.
Okay, good.
You really can't grind this game out. I think the experience kind of weirdly caps you at certain areas.
I grinded.
You just don't get the relevant stat boosts, I feel. Like, it doesn't help as much as other games. Maybe if you just get
ahead, but more MP, which is, I mean, this was a game all about keep MP. Yeah. That's all it was about. Is you need to make sure that you have all the MP that you can possibly have so you can just keep healing and keep casting spells until you win.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It was just really more of an HP MP inventory sort of game than really like boosting your strength. You have to boost your strength, don't get me wrong, but it's not like Dragon Quest where you have to drink all your stuff and your stats spamming to get 3s instead of 1s or anything along those lines.
I only barely know what you're talking about. I played Dragon Quest 1, but it's been a very long time.
Yeah, so when you have your seeds, you can get 1, 2, or 3 as your bonus to your stats.
Okay.
A lot of people will save scum for 3s.
Oh, I get what you mean. Okay. I haven't played it since, I think, before this podcast started.
Yep.
So it's been a while. I played it once on my phone. I beat it in like a day or 2. That's all I remember, Dragon Quest 1. Then I started 2 and never finished it.
Yeah, I haven't done those, but they're remaking quite a few of them.
I'm happy. It makes me happy because I've never played majority of them, like 3, 4, 5, 6. I did play 4 a bunch on the DS remake, and they did have the DS remakes, which I someday want to actually play them. But like some of the stuff in Sion's that I want to bring up is just his quest has some really hard fucking bosses in general, and his quest goes places. He's trying to like hunt down cultists that mostly play a part in his campaign. I mean, they do end up in some other campaigns too, a little bit, but fucking A does it get his final boss is the way they make you do it. I see why, as a kid, I did not finish this. So when you get to his final dungeon, you can't leave the final dungeon once you enter it. And the game does not warn you that, by the way. You ain't leaving. So I'm like, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to level, I'm going to get the items up. So I'm just messing around, and then I go to leave, and I can't leave. So I said, fuck it, I guess I'll go beat his campaign. And first you got to fight a hard boss. I'm like, hey, I did it. And then there's another boss, but there's no healing in between. There's no like, all right, let's go heal before... You can heal before you fight the two bosses, but before you fight the second of the two, there's no healing in between. And that second boss summons 3 different enemies before you can even kill him.
Yeah, that one was a grind.
And my dumbass, because you can't read the items, what the descriptions are when you're trying to use the items. They just don't have a text box for it. You have to know what they are previously. You have to look in your menu. So you have 2 different items that heal your MP. You have one that does 30 and one that does 100. I didn't know the one that did 100 existed until after Sion's Quest. Even though I had it. I had a full inventory of 9, because this game is mean to you. And so I was just doing 30 MP to try to keep himself and beat the game that way, barely beat the game with Sion's, because I didn't know Horn Waters existed.
Yeah,
I thought it was 100 HP, not MP.
Even with the Horn Waters, a few of my last boss challenges were like skin of my teeth, because I think on Sion's I still was using the magic and not the buffing, debuffing yet, and I like barely squeaked by.
That's
with light damage.
It's the hardest fight in the game.
Yeah, it sucked. That was tough. I was saving, I think, between turns and just resetting and just doing a couple of different moves to get the flags or the RNGs different for the next attacks, and that probably took me like an hour and a half.
That fight was ridiculous, and I understood. Like I remembered that guy. Like I didn't remember a lot of of this game, but that guy, his sprite was ingrained in my head from the previous times. I'd gotten to him and couldn't do it, because I didn't understand the concept of this game. I didn't understand what the game wanted me to do. And I think you saved me by telling me that, yeah, you're like, you need to buff and debuff. I don't know if I would have done it if you wouldn't have told me, because that's not how I play.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that until I think I found a random Reddit thread from a couple of years ago, and someone's like, dude, this is the way. I'm like, oh, thank God, because I was struggling. It was not fun for a little bit.
No, because I ended up using almost all my buff spells sometimes, and I never do that. Like I was casting speed up at times because it actually would help me out if my turn came before his turn came. Like that's not how I play RPGs. Usually I just grind until I can kill everything with attack. You cannot play this game that way, by the way. Don't try.
Yeah, I did.
I have. It doesn't work.
I always did double critical chance, followed by attack boost, followed by defense drop. I think that was my system, and it ended up working pretty well at the end. But speed up too would have been a good one. I did defense up on my end. I did magic defense up. That's what. There's
one magic defense spell that I had that it wasn't really magic defense. It just gave you a very good chance of dodging the spell completely.
Oh, fair.
I used that spell. It was 38 MP, which is a decent amount of MP. For example, final end game, I had 200 MP for some of my characters. For those listening that want a more detailed explanation. So it was a lot of MP, but it would we cast this spell and we're good for a few turns if they're a heavy magic user, which every fucking enemy in this game is a heavy magic user, feels like near the end especially.
But that's kind of the fun thing though, is even though it is just stat boost and stat decrease, there are multiple ways that you can go about it with the way that you spell out your spell. You can hit certain things, you can do boost everyone's speed, or you can do one that's just one person that'll give them a little bit more because it is a split system. But there's just a lot of fun things you can do with the way that they set the spells in this game, honestly. It's a really smart game in that way.
It is. And the spell system, just adding different, there's different, I don't know the right, it's verbs or different little things you can add that will change the way the spell is. If you put TOU, I think it is, at the end of a spell, or it has a different effect to it. But also increase the MP cost. I had one spell that was Pico Power Up. If you did power, cost a couple MP, but it did the same thing. It did more or less stats. It's weird. There were a lot of stuff like that.
It's all core word, prefix, and suffix.
Yes, those are the words.
And if the nice thing, actually, what I found from watching some videos of other people reviewing this is when they did the fan translations, they actually increased the amount of characters because you couldn't fill some of the spells with the amount that they gave you in the Japanese version, compared to US terms. So But there were times where I had to pick and choose. Like, I can't fit the dark spell in here because I think the core had 4 letters instead of the 3, like fire and air and earth did. So you couldn't, like, you only have 12 characters, and you max out almost every spell when you're getting the really good ones at the end. Like, it's kind of funny. But there's a whole lot to choose in this game when you're getting your spell list out there. It's like, yeah, I could do like an extra 100 damage on this one for 45 attack, but then I have to drop attacking everybody. Like, do I choose that, or what is the best version? So there's a lot more ways to play the game, even though you do end up kind of beating it one way, which I'd say is pretty unique.
He's played a lot of SNES RPGs, and this one has got to be one of the most unique ones that I've played.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
I don't think anything else is like this. It's a very one-of-a-kind game, and that is not a bad thing. Like, this is an extremely, interesting RPG. Very difficult RPG.
Yes,
I mean, starting Sion's Quest first, even though, because he's the first one of the 3, if we go down, is probably, like, not the best way to learn this game, because his fucking quest is a bitch. He had some really hard bosses in his quest.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Like, I don't know, I think a lot of the in-between enemies and kind of like even some of the sub-bosses weren't too bad, but the final bosses for everyone are really difficult. We're talking, I don't know, I think some of the early bosses only have like 7,000 HP, like even in the start of the first dungeon, and then the last boss will have like 25,000 for some reason. There's a drastic increase for some of these guys.
Damn.
And I don't even really understand why. I don't think it's this thing where, like, maybe they did just want to make those bosses so tough so you can't get through it. Yeah, so I'm just going back and looking at some of these. Serlant's guy, if you have the Apocalypse Blade, we'll get to that if you want to or not. It's got 55,000 HP versus
They get a little crazy, but you can also do...
Yeah.
You can do with some of the crits.
Yeah.
If with their buffs up and the debuffs on them, like there were times where I was doing like over 2,000 in one hit.
Yeah.
Like you can get through those health bars.
It'll take you 3 turns, but you'll be doing 10,000 damage if both your characters attack. But it's funny that one guy is 55 or like, and then if you do it on without the Apocalypse Blade, it's only 14,000. And the fight before that is only 8,400. But like there's such a weird level of like, yeah, that's it. It's like, why does this one boss? Oh, because this is like my final guy with the Apocalypse Blade. It's like, why did I do this?
I think I did the same thing. I really like Serlant's Quest. I think Serlant's Quest is probably my favorite.
Totally agree.
His head, like what we were kind of saying, he gets killed, but also in the beginning of Sion's Quest, you see 2 random NPCs. Well, random to us. They weren't random to that character because they were like his friend. You end up, when you're playing as Serlant, 2 different times when he dies, you have to pick each one of their bodies, and you come back as their body. One's a mage and one's a warrior class, let's say. And like, I remember being like, I kind of want my mage back because this game is a very magic-heavy game. So you want as much magic as you can have.
Yeah, I agree on that one. I was destroying with Serlant as the mage, and then went to the warrior. Like, ooh, no, thank you.
I picked the mage first, but I didn't realize they were going to make me pick the warrior again later.
Yep.
And it meant because I'm like, oh, I don't need this anymore, and I'm like, wait, I need that equipment back. So I was not happy.
No, I do like
with that. It's really good.
No, I totally agree with that. It was my favorite of all of them. I mean, Dunes was good at the end too, because obviously he's like the main character, or supposed to be.
Dunes is different since it's really just a like. We'll get to that later. I don't want to go there yet. Another thing with Serlant that I want to bring up is just like because you end up causing your own problem in Serlant because you release the human monster thing of each of the different races. Like we were talking about earlier, they all have like some legendary creature that started them off, and you have to kill them all eventually throughout all the quests. The Rudras, I think is what they're called. I don't know, but I just know the human one betrays you a couple times, and he's the one that you first like give up your body because he tricks you, and then you just keep fighting him. Finally beat him at the final boss of his chapter. I think you fight him again too in the final chapter. So
yeah, I believe so.
There was a scene in Rizza's that I completely missed, and I thought I soft locked the game, but luckily it was optional. I saw it on YouTube, and I'm like, wait, I didn't do that. Do I have? And I'm like, oh, thank God I figured it out. But I was stuck for a bit because I didn't know to go to an orphanage and talk to a statue.
Oh yeah.
So Rizza's is the third one I played. She's a girl who has a jade embedded in, who was born with a jade inside of her, and she's looking for her mother to start with, and then it eventually ends up she's trying to cure the world of pollution because like one issue with this world is heavily polluted, and that's destroying the world and making these gods be like, you humans don't deserve to live. You polluted the world. I like the first part, like with her, because like early in the game, you play the other one, you see the butterfly fly across and the pollution is gone. But I didn't realize the way that she does it. She doesn't even try, and she ends up in some town, and there's this rich using this machine to make his town not polluted, but he's charging everybody high in taxes. And it just made me, I was like, yeah, that's it. That is not what I expected.
Yeah, a little too on the nose there.
It was good though, but yeah, it was just a strange thing that was like, I was surprised this is here.
Mm-hmm.
This game deals a lot with pollution.
It really does. Yeah, like I don't know. I think I kind of liked Sion's story. I liked Serlin's. I don't know if Rizza was just like I was getting towards the end of wanting to keep doing this, and I just didn't care so much. And then Dune was like the nice jump up, but I feel like Rizza's was just kind of a weird story. Like I feel like she just got continually hit on the whole time, and it was like a little bit too much. Maybe that was just a fan translation.
That was her fan translation, because I must have played a different fan translation, because I can't believe there's a different one. I don't remember her getting... Well, no, maybe no. We did the same thing. She did get hit on a lot constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the stupid little goblin guy's like, I'll marry you. Yeah, so no, never mind. It was just the same patch.
Okay, that's fair enough. Because there's probably not a whole lot of fan translations out there.
No, there's probably only one. I feel like it was just whoever translated this game where I'm like, can I have an official translation, please?
Right. You know, I think, wasn't this might have come out on like the Wii or the Wii U, but I never got access to it on those.
I looked online on like their Wikipedia. It only says 1996. It doesn't say anything else.
Oh, you know, it's on the Virtual Console in Japan.
Oh, it did actually come to Virtual Console?
Yeah, the Wii Virtual Console in Japan and the Wii U also in Japan. Unavailable when they shut down in 19 and 23 respectively.
But also unavailable since you couldn't translate it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you'd have to know Japanese. This is not a game you could stumble through without being able to read.
Ooh, no, spelling alone, you will have.
Yeah, I mean, that's even harder than like you couldn't just like practice the spells because you need to invent spells. So you better learn how to read Japanese.
Bingo. Yeah, that's a hard lock right there.
Because you will not beat this game without spells. This is a gigantic magic type game. So the speedrun I'm watching right now is done in Japanese.
Oh, sure.
For some reason, I found this one. For the one I'm watching, the glitched version, estimate is 4 hours.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, glitch would probably do that.
The one that wasn't glitched was an hour and a half for each scenario of the main three. Or I only found 2. There was no Rizas for some reason. Also, one night,
quickly.
little touch that we were talking about earlier, but that this game does too, is as you get closer to beating bosses, they start turning red, and then they get redder right before they die, which is a nice touch to be like, okay, I'm getting there.
Yeah, once again, Mystic Quest guys, great work.
Makes more sense when you find out they were involved in this. No, Rizza's was my least favorite because I kept getting stuck in hers often. Like I would just miss an NPC. Like there were a lot of issues I had with hers I didn't have with the other two as much. Hers is the most complicated, I think. And hers also has a good chunk of time where she's only 3 characters. She has, in my opinion, without actually doing math, had the longest chunk of 3 characters because you don't get the mermaid till late, and then the mermaid leaves you for a bit. And then you can even skip getting her back, by the way. I missed her and went to the second boss that you're supposed to in that area. So I bet you could almost even skip her if you just didn't hook up in one section.
You
like
know,
I almost did.
Suck a lot. Yeah, I did not.
You need her. You need your. I mean, I'm hoping there's some kind of like the game would be like, no, we need to go find her, like something, not just. Well, good luck. She's gone now. So I could see the game doing that. No, Rizza, there's just something about her campaign that was just not as. It's more. I don't know. There was something difficult about it for me too. Like I wasn't getting like worn out with this game actually, which is a little surprising. I was just because I actually went through Serlin's campaign in like 2 days. Besides Sion's, once I understood the game, I beat every campaign in about 2 days.
Got it. Yeah.
Sion's took me longer because I didn't understand the game. I didn't understand what the game expected of me at first, and like it was hard for me to want spells as much as I had to because that is not how I play RPG. I am not a spell guy.
Yeah, I
and
agree
this
with you on
game
that
went,
one.
it's not a choice.
Yeah, I save all my MP until the boss, and then it's only like use the spells it's weak against, just the elements. That's what you're here to do. Like I've learned this, I know this, but not this game, not at all.
No, you have to use spells in regular fights often, or you will not even get through the fights. Like, you don't have a choice. I mean,
the whole game is just MP management, honestly.
Mm-hmm. And you, like I said briefly earlier, you only get to carry 9 of each item. There are only 2 items that restore your MP. One is 30, one is 100. That's it. And you only get 9. And 9, it's like, I thought 20 was bad in Star Ocean. 9 is really worse.
Right. Yeah, it's a lot worse.
Well, Star Ocean Second Story, I should say. I don't know I've never played Star Ocean 1.
You get 20 in all of them. Yeah.
Okay, that's a series like Star Ocean Second Story is a game I really want to do on this show, but the remake hasn't gotten cheap enough for me to buy it yet, so I'm waiting on that.
It's literally the best remake for an old RPG that has come out. They added stuff and it doesn't change the game, and it's fantastic. It really is.
It's $25 right now. I need to be cheaper, but yeah. I do want it.
So good. You can beat
one of those
Cave of Trials. Finally, it's doable.
I never beat the original Star Ocean. I got to the final boss and I could not do it for the life of me, and I just put the game down and this was done. And I fucking love Star Ocean Second Story. So
did you not have the Marvel blade or the blade that you make?
I don't remember. It's been so long. I probably didn't because it went badly. So
yeah, you got to keep the sword that they give you after the tournament and then build it up with Claude. But if you don't have that, the game is it can be unwinnable if you don't have your stats right.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep. Yeah, because I think you need a lot of parry and a lot of.
I can do that I don't know. It's on my list to get to someday.
Yeah, do it. Tell me. I'll beat it again.
Oh, yeah, it'll be on the show if I do it. You know that. Suikoden 1 is another one, but that one I probably will pick up the next Steam sale because I wanted to do Suikoden this year and last year, and then I just kept waiting for that remake, and the remake finally came out, and I'm like, I don't want to pay that much.
Yeah, that's fair. I will say 2 is in my top 3 games of all time, and I'll even say the remake barely gives you anything that you couldn't have gotten otherwise.
Yeah, I just kind of even know I could emulate it, but I'm like, I wanted this, I should support it. But I do like all the characters. Each team gets a character that isn't human. Sion gets a giant. Serlin gets, I don't know what he is, but he's not human.
Doesn't he get the
It's a little kid that has no memory.
Guy? Oh yeah,
he's not human.
Yeah, that's it.
Rizza gets a mermaid and a goblin.
Yeah, I don't know. The side characters weren't too bad, but I don't know. I got lost along the way with most of them, honestly.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's completely a fair statement. You can. They're just kind of there. I mean, for me, everything was a mage. It felt like there were turns where only one person would attack and the rest are just trying to keep us alive.
Yeah.
There were a few boss fights where I had to go to 2 characters healing each turn because he just could not stay alive otherwise.
But yeah, I do really feel like they had a couple of placeholders. Like I'm remembering a couple of names here and there offhand, but it's not like anybody had a humongous side story or anything that really made me want to latch onto them in that sort of way.
No, that's fair, especially in Rizzo's quest, because you are right. They were all trying to hit on her. So there were multiple parts that I'm pretty sure were just I mean, it could have been in the original Japanese. I don't know, but there were parts where I felt like this feels like badly translated, or someone just went, fuck it, we're just putting this in here.
Yeah, I can't say marginalizing women in the game would be beyond 1995 culture in certain Japanese areas, but
that is fair.
It was just, yeah, hard to say if it was.
I mean, 100% could have been in there. Like,
right.
You know, I watched enough anime from the 90s, so yeah. Hell, I just got done watching Dragon Ball Z Kai, as I keep mentioning it, and the way they do Bulma and everything. I'm like, yeah, that fits the 90s for Japan culture.
Shit, you really want to see it around this time? Go and buy the Lunar remasters.
Forget those exist.
Lunar did a lot of that, too.
Lunar is I remember liking those games, but I don't know if I liked them because they're good or because my girlfriend at the time loved them. Hard to say.
They're good. They're really good games, honestly.
Okay.
I would play them. But Victor Ireland's translations, they have bromides in there, so it's like magazine covers that's just like weird softcore shots.
I haven't bought any of these remakes at all yet, or these I just haven't gotten around to them because I'm a cheap bastard and these games are newer.
I blame you.
And it's hard for me to want to buy a game like that when I can emulate it. I'm like, it takes some.
That's the other part.
It's like I can just emulate this and have save states, but you need to be cheap enough for me to want to support you. Or it needs to be on the schedule. Like, it's one of those things where if I'm actually going to play it, then I'm willing to pay more. Like, I might be buying Dragon Quest 1, the remaster here soon, and we'll see. 1 and 2. And then eventually, once you do finish all 3 quests, Risa does go to the moon at the end. So now if I had to go for every game from the Super Nintendo that took me to the moon in an RPG, I have 2 now. Yay.
Hey, there you go.
Did not see that coming,
Really?
by the way.
That's it?
What,
Just
Final
2?
Fantasy 4 and this?
Yeah.
There could be others, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
8 took me to the moon, right? Did 8 go to the moon?
Kinda. You get close. You don't go all. You go to.
And then the moon becomes like a monster.
Yeah.
Fucking 8. I like 8, but fucking 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I played anything else that's gone to the moon in an RPG on SNES that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, damn, I feel like it's out there, but...
There's got to be others, I bet. I just can't think of them at the moment. But I was surprised when you go to the moon, did not see that coming. And they also skipped like 3 days, that I thought was funny, because it was like day 12, and it was like, okay, day 15. I liked her boss. It's a giant computer type thing you have to fight. I thought that was cool. And you got to do a bunch of
an interesting one.
Dumb stuff to get it there. You have to like turn off the elevators and turn off lights and turn off power so it can't use this attack on you and kick you out of the room so you can destroy it. Like, it was interesting. I was like, I like this. I had a good time with it. And then once you because for me, she was the last one I did, so then it went right to Dunes, and Dune then gets the other characters together and goes on the moon to get Riza.
Yeah, and
I think one thing...
Dune. I don't know.
It's not much. I thought it was actually going to be a full campaign where you go through like what he went through the game, but shorter, where it's really just bring all the lead characters. At least I like the idea because Dune also has a Jade in him. I don't think you find out why or how. Might have they said it once, I don't remember. But the other character, because they even say that they go to the final boss, whatever the hell the god is, that if they don't have the Jade in them, they'll die instantly. So they essentially they leave the other characters behind, and Riza gets her character to go into a space pod, and then goes bye, launches it without her in it to save their life. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
but it was like with Dune. One thing they do, I completely over leveled in Dunes because that's how I play RPGs. His is just cool to me in general because of all the shit that's going on there. Like, you do fight a ton of bosses. You go to, 2 dungeons that are just, essentially boss gauntlets, but you can heal and level up, so that's nice.
That's pretty much it. The end of the game is kind of just, a humongous boss dungeon, or,
And that's fine. But there's an enemy that gives you 5,000 XP instead of the normal, 600 you get from a battle, so I would literally just run from every battle, but that would get 5,000 XP and, everybody level up. I did that for a good couple hours.
Smart way to do it.
Once I figured that out, I'm like, there's no point in fighting the rest of these $5,000 because they were all as hard as the others. And I leveled up into the 70s when I beat this game. I went past what the guide recommended.
Oh, yeah, you did. Jeez.
Well,
I did not.
This game was tough. And when I got 70, I meant the lowest character in my group was 70. The highest was 74.
Yeah.
I almost did more because the fucking ending is... It's the boss right before the end where I must have had on the wrong type of equipment because he has a move that he does. It does holy damage, and he was killing everybody in one hit, and I couldn't cast my non-holy spell to deflect it, half of it, until there's no way, even though I up my speed, he gets off his move period first. It's just kind of one of those fights. So I had to mess with items. Apparently I had dark items on or something that gave me dark defense, which made me susceptible to his light attack. Yeah, so that was fun. It took me about 3 to 4 fights before I realized, oh, that's what to do.
There's another big part of the game where you do have to make sure you're equipping the right equipment, because if you do equip things that make you weak against the boss's capabilities, almost every boss will one-shot your characters.
Mm-hmm. That's nice, isn't it?
There are times you have to use the worst equipment in the game just because of the magic capabilities on it. I did notice that as well.
Yeah, I stopped selling equipment at a certain point just to have stuff. So I'm like, yeah, things might get ugly here. It was near the end that I ran into that. The final boss, I think, is a dark creature, so I was able to put dark defense on. But right before the final boss, you fight a boss that's holy. It's just kind of. And the final boss also has 3 forms because it's Super Nintendo.
And they start wind, thunder, and then move to light, dark on the last form.
And then the second form, I think, switches elements depending on what you hit it with. We just went all physical. I don't fuck around with a boss where they're going to keep switching their defense. You'll see what they do. I'm like, fuck that. We're just hitting them physical. We're just put critical on, and we did a bunch of strength up and defense down for them, and I won that way. That was an epic fight.
Wrecking.
Even in the 70s, where the guide recommended 68 as the highest for the character. This game in the 50s. I'm watching a playthrough right now where they do that. Like, it was still tough. I got through it. I was running out of items, out of MP items. I had enough. I knew I was going to make it, but I was running out because you only get 9.
Yeah, that does not surprise me.
Did you have any trouble with the final boss?
You know what? I did, yeah. It took me quite a bit to get there. Like I said, I got to the point where I think on the last boss, I was even saving between turns just to make sure I wasn't, like, using the wrong combination of spells or, like, got something that would just wipe me out in one turn. But that was more of a time crunch for me than really the overall difficulty. I'd say it was doable, but I think I beat this at, like, 67 was the level I had, average. So I was a little lower than you.
I get a little bizarre on stuff sometimes like that.
I don't blame you. It would have been smart, honestly.
This is one of those games that lived in my brain, like, haunting me because I never finished it. It just has forever. Like, this was one of those games I just needed to complete. And when I did, I was just so fucking happy. Like, the final boss starts off, I mean, it kind of reminded me of Levels too, because that's the 3, this is the way that different forms are and stuff. But I think that when you finally beat it, and there's some other, but the third form, I almost got wiped a couple times because it doesn't take much. Your defenses spells go away and you don't realize it in time. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, even though I've been healing every single turn, all my buffs are gone. I almost died a couple times. I killed like 1 or 2 characters. And I'm like, oh shit. I was using save states in the final fight, but I never actually had to go back a turn. But I had it because I was like, we are finishing this game tonight.
Yeah, that's what I got to. Just run out of time with it. But I
want it over with.
It's I don't know, it's definitely doable. Like I think it is good. I think I had a fun time with it, but I think it is just like it's hard to say that they needed to shorten it up a couple of hours because I don't really think you could do that. And it's not really that long of a game, but I think a little bit less, a little bit easier way besides just debuffing to win would have been the answer for this one.
Yeah, it's a difficult game, and it's really extremely difficult. The ending, I guess you killed the god that was going to reset the world so the humans can stay or something, right? Remember what the ending is?
Yeah, the humans become the race that successfully stops the Rudras from resetting the world every 4,000 years, and now everyone can kind of get back together, but it's, I don't know, it doesn't come off as great as I think it wanted to, in all honesty.
Also, there was a lot of sure and be done. It was, I don't know, I was just done. Like, done with this game. But, I mean, for me, this is a 20-year battle trying to beat this game. Like, I have started this so many times, and I always fell off. Never beat a single scenario before any of the 3 until I beat all 3 last week, or this week. Oh, yeah, I finished it this week.
Yeah, I respect that one. That one for me, it's probably like 2 or 3 years ago, was Dark Cloud 2. Got through that one 100%. That felt good.
Never played Dark Cloud 2, actually. I owned it on PS2. I own it on other things too now, but never. That's a game I need to play someday. I played Dark Cloud 1, actually, with your friend Brad.
Yeah.
Me and him were playing that back in the day.
Great games, but if you're a Platinum Trophy guy, don't do it. You have to 100% the golf on every level. You have to make the last 2 items in the game, and you have to do the fish breeding and racing. I think it took me 263 hours.
That is too much of one game.
Yes. A lot of it was golfing, but that was when my first kid was born, so I was up at like 3 a.m. golfing in Dark Cloud 2 for like 3 hours in the middle of the night.
So, oh, okay. Then that's... Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. They're like, yeah, I can't do anything as I sit here and rock you to put you back to sleep. So
bingo. Just pacing around the room, trying to hit golf shots, underground dungeons.
I remember when my son was real little, I remember sitting there playing like Final Fantasy 11. I'm just rocking him while I'm playing Final Fantasy 11 because he wouldn't sleep. He had he's 18. He still doesn't sleep sometimes, I swear. So when he was a baby, he just would not sleep. And that's what we would do. Like, I do not miss those days. That's something that I was like, yep. I had a kid when I was 19, too fucking early, but there are things that I don't. There are good things about it, but I don't miss it. No, thank you. No sleepless nights up. I'm too old for that shit. To quote Lethal Weapon. So, all right. Anything else to say about Rudras that we haven't mentioned yet?
Yeah, it's just this is a really solid game that not a lot lot of people got to play. And like, if you're a ROM guy, an emulation person, anything like that, I would, yeah, I think it's worth giving a try. But this was a surprise for me. I had more fun with it than I thought. It was probably one of the harder games I've played in a while, specifically in the turn-based RPG style. But yeah, I think this has a place for people to give it a try, and I think honestly, if you get the chance to, you should.
You can find it online on different websites. Because this ain't ever coming to America. At this point, I don't see this one coming. I wish it would.
Yeah, I'd have a real tough time. Yeah. Yeah, even a remaster of this, I just wouldn't see that happening. Like
no,
Live
I still can't believe Live
like
came here.
Yeah, honestly, and I'm glad it did. That was a really, really fun game.
Oh yeah, but this game is also way hard to live.
True. Yeah.
All right, and I actually did get a few. So we're going to question comments and memories. I did get a few, actually. I got more than I expected. Like, I wasn't sure anyone was going to comment about this game. People had stuff to say. So first for me, I watched the entire Overblood Super Replay group from Ken Pittman. I remember trying to play this very early on into my gaming and learning how to read Japanese, but could not get very far or really grasp how to make use of that 3-language character magic system efficiently. But I remember being impressed by what it was doing. I do recall also thinking at the time how I felt that a good evolution of the saga style of RPGs. I should try and set up my Wii again and try it now that I have a better understanding and see how far I can get. That's impressive. That somebody was, learned Japanese and was playing it that way. Like, I mean, not learning for the... I don't know. That's not something I would advise anybody to do. All right.
Better ways.
And then from William Iseri, never heard of this, but the art seems cool. I posted the cover of the game. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
most people haven't heard of it.
It's really good art. Because like a year and a couple of months after this, Final Fantasy VII was coming out. So like, this is really good Super Nintendo art. One of the best things about the game.
Oh damn, that was not that. Oh, yeah, I forget when 7 comes out. Speaking of 7,
easy to remember.
Yeah, coming on the show soon for the 7-year anniversary of this podcast. Oh, and then from the RPG Sanctuary group, I got a few. The other group, I didn't have anything. I thought I did. From Marco P, it's a great game. I've been hoping for a HD 2D version since Live was released a few years ago, since they were both released only in Japan. Yeah, but this is more than Live. I think this would be harder for people to grasp.
Yeah, that's fair. And the story's a little different than it too. I mean, Hinduism really doesn't get to America, unfortunately, as much as people would think.
No, and this is about pollution and global warming, essentially. And remember, global warming is not real, if you ask people in charge. So that might be another issue. Like, tariff the game, 100%. So hopefully someone listens to this years later is like, what? And that joke is aged, like, fine, like a spoiled milk, hopefully. So, all right, from Michael Hebert, real English version of this to fully utilize the spell system, creating your own spells by customizing the name of the spell is awesome. It is. It's annoying at times, but it's cool.
Yeah, if you could save spells to a spell book across the 3 or 4 different character scenarios, 100% keep doing this, but unfortunately it does get a little janky when you have to like write them down or remember everything between all those things and you have no reference system.
Yeah, that would be bad, but I think it just expected you to, maybe you're supposed to write in the instruction book.
They used to give you note sections, but damn, we don't even get instruction books anymore.
Would have been nice. I mean, at least in Dunes, I didn't have to type in the spells again because I just finished Riza, so then they had all the spells that Riza had.
Yeah, that's fair. That one.
So I was like, cool, I don't have to do this shit again. So from Gilgamesh N, I really love this game, but also have never finished it. I understand.
Yeah.
And last comment from Scott Forbes, really good forgotten gem from the SNES era. Would recommend this one to anyone who enjoyed the SNES Final Fantasies. Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Completely.
Yeah, I think it fits in well.
It does. A lot better than I thought it would be. And I should give away a code. Let me see what my next Steam... Okay, next Steam code is that it? That is not it. I almost gave away a newer code. Oh, this is a Steam code for Sniper Elite 4 Deluxe. Your Steam code is FZDQ8-0GDWJQ055W. That is your Steam code for Sniper Elite 4 Deluxe. Hopefully somebody enjoys that. All right, let's go to Shelf Stacker Box. And Kyle, why don't you lead us in?
Well, I liked this game. I had a good time with it, but I think this is a stack game for me, honestly. It's a good time, but I don't really see myself going back and playing this more than like once or twice again now that I've kind of gotten the full thing out of it. Like it's good, it's challenging, it gives you that little bit of extra, but there's not, once you've kind of seen what this lamp does and you rub the genie out of it, there's not a whole lot more than just the one or two tricks that it has. So I do think this is a fun game, but I don't think I'd really show this one off to the people coming over and checking out the game collection.
Okay, I'll go next. I'm put this on the shelf. I will never play this game again, for the record, but I will be talking about this game for the rest of my life to people who want to hear me. So just because I feel like this is an amazing RPG, I just think now that I know like the key to unlocking it, how to play it, that I always will be mentioning it to people with that context. But then again, this is a game that I have fought with for 20 years, and the amount of accomplishment I feel for finishing it is not what I normally experience. I mean, there are very few games that I have fought with for 20 years like this. And an RPG, for God's sake, a game that you can get through, not like, oh, I just wasn't good enough at this platformer. No, this is an RPG. So, but it's a fucking hard RPG. But no, I loved it. I'm so happy that I beat it finally. I'm happy as part of the show, because getting like some of these SNES RPGs that never came here, done, Live a Live, Sailor Moon is on here on the show. Like, it just feels good to get them as part of the show. That Sailor Moon game is actually way better than you'd think it would be, too, for the record. It's a good game.
Yeah, I liked it. I think if I had played it back in the day like you, I'd probably have the same feelings, but yeah, it's a solid game. It is definitely a solid game. I just don't think there's a whole lot of people I would know in my wheelhouse that'd be like, this is the one for me.
No, and that's fair. It's just probably not a lot of people for me either. I just really, really like this damn game for a ridiculous reason. All right, and then we should ensure what we're talking about next week. Next week, you can hear me talk about StarCraft. That's the game for next week. My first time ever playing through StarCraft. I'm currently working on it. Not very far. So that's what you will hear next week. All right. And where can people find you at?
Yeah, so I am on the RPG Show, therpgshow.com, not the WIG website. We're different. And we just did an episode on Mystic Quest that released yesterday. We did Slitterhead a couple of weeks ago, about a month ago. That was an interesting one. And then we've got Trails in the Sky, First Chapter Remake, and Romancing Saga 2 on the docket.
Nice. Some good RPGs there.
Mm-hmm. I was going to give another shout out to one or two. We've had a couple of people reach out to us on Blue Sky, but I can give a shout out to Randy at Endvasion. Looks like a kind of town builder, a little bit on the darker side, and you do a little bit more like, I think there's a little bit of Age of Empires-ish fighting in there as well. So give it a look on Steam. I think he released a demo a couple of days ago.
Okay. Great. And if you enjoyed this episode, over 900 other episodes of this podcast, we do movies, TV shows, video games, comics, all sorts of content. You never know what the hell we're going to do, because I don't know what the fuck we're going to do. So check out our giant catalog if you want to support the show. Do a Patreon with Little Dog vote in our Patreon polls. We have 1 to 2 polls a month. Currently 1. I'm going back to 2 real soon. I'm still trying to get caught up. And so check that out. And if you donate $10 or more, I will plug your podcast or YouTube, whatever it is that you do, like these lovely people, Phoebe Stanton, Let's Play Princess, on YouTube and on Twitch. And also check out her podcast, Nerds of Broadcast. And also, please check out absolute best podcast of work in progress, talking about MC movies, MCU adjacent movies, and currently talking about the Alien franchise. And check out A Gamer Looks at 40 with Bill Tucker, currently on hiatus, but he's coming back. December, January of... He's coming back soon. So soon by the time if you hear this when it first comes out. So check him out for sure. And we'll get started my awesome intro and outro because Helena at Hell Has Fury. You can follow her on TikTok and Instagram. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, and then rate and review your podcast. And join our Discord if you want to be on the show. If you want to suggest things for the show, that's how you do it. I think that's everything I need to say. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.